Well, guys, it's definitely been a while since I've been out here. Now, by a while, it's probably been a couple weeks since we've been out here to actually do anything with the car. So kind of the same story it was in the last update video. I've just been insanely busy lately. I don't know why. But on top of being busy, still waiting on parts with this one. Now, I do have an update with the parts. I got a hold of Matt today, and he said that turbo should be shipping on Monday for this car here. So when that bar Warner gets here, we can really start cramming parts together. I ended up sending the wastegate rings back to AGP, so we're just gonna get a tile F38 gate. I did message Jordan. He did say he would rather have a tile. That way it matches the block valve. We'll get a black F38 that's gonna go on the manifold right here, and that'll be our wastegate. That's all we need to put this thing together at this point. I got a valve cover over there that we can use. I'm gonna pull the valve cover off. We'll put the turbo on, get the downpipe on, get the wastegate and dump tube on, hook all our oil lines up. I go ahead and I'll put the valve cover back on with a new gasket. Or hopefully we're ready to start this thing by the time we get to that point. And the only thing I don't have from Jordan is a battery for the car, but I do have batteries inside. I can bring one out just to hook it up, try and start the thing up, make sure it's gonna run, not make any noises or smoke like crazy or anything like that. But yeah, once we can go ahead and verify all that stuff, I can put the hood on and see what we got for fitment here. So I'm looking at this and it does look like this may interfere with the hood. If that's the case, I'm just gonna drop it down. So what I would do is get some longer bolts and some spacers. Now I do have some aluminum spacers, at least I thought I did. So they're aluminum spacers and they're thick. They're not clevis pins, like these are like dowels. See how these are thin? But I have spacers that are about this distance that are made for a 3/8 or 8mm bolts. They're pretty small, where the 10mm is a little bit bigger. But I can use those spacers and we can drop that regulator, you know, 1/2 inch or so. And then hopefully we'll get the clearance we need to be able to close the hood. Like I said, that's gonna be the final thing that I really have to do is either drop that regulator or move it somewhere else depending on what we got for fitment. And if I gotta move it, I gotta move it. All I'd have to do is just remake the these two lines here, which I have enough line. I would just have to make them and then put it all together. So yeah, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I know it's been a while since we've been out here. It's been a while since we've been able to actually work on a car. Like I said, it's just, unfortunately, it's just been crazy busy. Last week, there was not there. I don't even think there was one night that we stayed home, to be honest with you. I think we had some shopping to do Monday. Tuesday, we went down to Davison so I could pick up an Xbox. I wanted an original Xbox again, found one on Facebook Marketplace, and then went and I grabbed that thing. Wednesday, I went to Fenton. Sold Blake some side skirts for his car, so he can try and get that car back together. I want to say it's a yellow one, yellow 03 car, but he needed some side skirts, so I dropped those off. Drove all the way down to Ann Arbor to try and buy some snow tires on wheels, and the kid fell asleep and kind of just ghosted me. And then I waited there for about 10-15 minutes and said to hell with it. We left, went to my next stop, ended up getting a Christmas present for the wife. So I'm not gonna be able to show you guys that because she does watch the channel. If it was something where she's like, oh man, screw that, I ain't got time to watch that shit, I'd probably put it on here, but she does, so I ain't gonna put it on here yet. I'll put it on after Christmas. But that being said, so we did that and then stopped in Metamora on the way home, and that was another stop. I dropped off a flywheel to Cam so he can go ahead and he can get his car put back together, and then came home. And then Thursday, I don't remember what we did. And then Friday, we ran out and did some more errands. And then Saturday, we woke up and we drove up to Petoskey and back to get, you know, I got some snow tires. I'd set up something else because the other kid flunked out on me. So we went up to Petoskey and I got some snows. And then Sunday, we got back and I was just like, man, I'm tired. It was a long week at work. And then I drove after work, 2 days after work. I probably put 400 miles in the car. And then we did the same thing again on Saturday. Like Wednesday, 8 o'clock, punched out, we started driving. So I do have some footage of that. We ended up, I didn't film every stop. I kind of just briefed it a little bit here and there. So I do have little pieces of footage throughout the past couple weeks, and I'll tie all that in here in the video. And actually, I'll probably just break it in right now before we get into the car. So we'll start looking at that stuff right now. sudden it just looks like you're inside of a town. So it turned out it was Lowe's, but man, it's just crazy how well hidden Petoskey is from the highway coming from that way, coming up 131. Yeah, we're all the way up here trying to get some tires today, so we're almost there.
Yeah, I got just like 2 minutes. I'm gonna turn left onto Howard Street in a half mile.
Yeah, it's kind of sucked. The other kid didn't message me. He goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry I fell asleep." So I was selling these for $50, and I messaged him and I said, "Hey, I mean, I'll take them, but you gotta come meet me. I'm not gonna drive all the way down there." They had somebody else showing up to pick them up, and I said, "Oh, that's rad." So whatever.
Sorry, this was a nice drive.
We set it up. We set up another deal here, and we had a free Saturday and made a trip out of it. So
That's where that car just turned.
Was that pink car?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is pink.
Yeah. Way pink. Way pink.
Oh no, not this one.
It's not this one. All right.
It's a nice little area.
Yeah, it is. Real hilly little town. Interesting inclines.
Left onto Howard Street. Howard.
Okay.
No. This is where you learn to drive a stick.
Right.
The residential part of Petoskey.
I've seen some pretty cool old equipment, heavy equipment. I don't know what it is, I guess. It's like some kind of conveyor or something. And we're gonna try and stop by and check those guys out on the way too. It actually looked really cool. I had her mark it on the Google Maps so we can go do that. Regular neon. With some wheels on.
Right here.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Then your destination will be on the right.
We're almost here. I'm not gonna throw the camera in dude's face. We're gonna try and get these tires here and bring you guys back in. Interesting little park here. They call it Bear River Shelter. So I tried this once and then realized I didn't record any of it. So we left Petoskey probably, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. And then we were driving on the way up and we've seen these old machines here. So I wanted to check this deal out. I don't know what they are. This one says Case. So I don't know, it's like International or something like that. Well, this one says Case on it. Some kind of conveyor, because it's got the chute and everything right there. It's got some gears for something. I don't know if those are just to help scoop things in or what, but some interesting old chain and gear setups. Big old chute. Cute chute, actually. And here's another one. Kind of the same deal, but a little bit different. But this one's got IHI badges all over it, so I don't know. I guess I'm not big into this old equipment and stuff like that, so I couldn't tell you. But I'm pretty sure it's IHI, it's International. It's got a badge there, it's got one down there, and then this one coming off, it's got another. And then it actually has rubber on the wheels, which is kind of cool. And then some other old digger over here, over there, and another conveyor, whatever you want to call that. I guess I don't know what they are. Ooh, this one actually says McCormick Deering. Okay. Is that the same? This one looks the same. Yeah, it is. Okay. McCormick Deering. I wonder if that was the dealer, if that was the company that owned it, or if that's who made it. We got some old barns all over in the back too. Camera probably won't pick them up the best, but some pretty big barns. Some old equipment out there. It's interesting to see. We've seen this stuff on the way back and thought it'd be really cool to stop in fast and check out. Now I just gotta wait for traffic. But anyway, now we're gonna go get some food. Yeah, it's pretty neat, guys. I know that camera won't zoom in right now because we're already recording, but looking at Boyne Mountain.
Oh, you missed it.
Never been here. Yeah. I'll have you. So it's kind of cool. We ended up, we did our part runs, and then on the way back, we ended up stopping through a couple of subdivisions that had some pretty cool Christmas lights, and we ended up checking them out because wife's really into that, and she rode with me, so I got no problem with it. I used to actually do that when I was a kid quite a bit. My family would ride around and we would look at Christmas lights, so it was kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely brought back some memories of us doing that when we were younger. So what I got today, or what we're gonna do today, is what pretty much all I got left for the car. Aside from the hood, the turbo, and the wastegate. I don't think I'm gonna mess with this guy yet. I'm gonna open the box, see what we got, see what kind of hardware there is, and then we'll see what there is there. So it already is open. Looked in. It's another new rear diffuser. So I don't know if they sent us any hardware with it or not. Because if you look at the one that's on the car, it actually has black hardware. So it's got black rivets that hold this thing in all the way across, and they're kind of just peeling out, and the carbon is a little beat up. So I felt under the bumper here, and it kind of did feel like the bumper was cut. So I think we are gonna have to put that lip on there. Either that or he's gonna have to change the bumper. So we're gonna put that rear diffuser deal on here. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna do that tonight though, just because it is a little chilly. I don't really want to work with carbon when it's cold because it's really prone to crack. I mean, this stuff is super thin, you know, and it's stiff, and I'd hate to damage it because it's cold. So I'll probably have to get out here one day and turn the heater on. We'll let everything warm up at the back of the car, and I'll put this diffuser back there too so it sees the same heat. And then once it gets some heat in there, then I can try to work with it and see what we got, but that'll be after I get the hardware figured out. So while we're out here today, apparently there was a hose clamp sitting on it. I'll have to reach under the toolbox and dig that out now. But while we're out here today, I'm gonna do the fuel pump relay. I'm gonna get that stuck in the back. I got a fuel pressure gauge that I gotta stick on this thing, so that'll just go right in the regulator and that'll be easy. I need to put the fuse in the fuel pump rewire. I'll pull up the flow chart and get an idea of what we're actually expecting for fuel pressure, and that'll tell me what kind of amps we're gonna run through the pump. I don't think it exceeds much more than 15, maybe 17, so it probably will get a 20 amp fuse anyway. But yeah, so that's really all I got to do today, is the gauge on the regulator, relay, and put a fuse in that rewire that comes off the alternator. Let's get this gauge in first. We'll go to the back, we'll work on that relay, and then once I get everything hooked up at the back, I'll come back to the front and I'll stick this fuse in here and see what we got for hardware on that. And actually, let's look at this real quick first, just to see what it is we got, and then I can make a plan, or I can think about it while I'm doing other stuff. Ready. Weird. Why does it? How did that happen? This is really weird. Look at this. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but there's a faded spot in the carbon there. The weave laid really weird. Oh, it actually came apart. You can see the threads in the carbon fiber where it came apart, and then they just resined right over it. So there's a couple defects in this one. I wonder if maybe that's why it's not on the car. But definitely better shape than the one that's on it. No hardware. Okay. So I'm gonna have to get some hardware for collared rivets so I can put this thing together. That'd be easy enough though. All right. So we know what's going on with that. I know I've said in the past couple videos I wanted to check that out, and I keep putting it off, but we know what's going on with it now. I'll get the hardware coming so we can take care of that deal. Let's get this gauge on the regulator. All right, 4 it is. Unless it's standard, which possible. We'll see. See the 4. Ooh, she's loose. I was wrong. It is standard. So it's not a 5 and it ain't a 4. We're probably gonna be this guy right here, which is a 3/16. No. I got my phone in my pocket, and luckily enough I'm wearing shorts, but my pants don't have a drawstring, so these things keep falling. So I'm gonna check this real quick here. I was right. All right. After being wrong twice. I'm okay with that though. Can't win them all. Definitely can't win them all. A little bit of some thread tape here. And this is PTFE, so it does stand up against fuel or oil of the alcohol nature. The only downside I hate about this stuff is trying to get it to lay. The liquid stuff's a lot easier to work with for sure. Then you just brush it on. Good to go. And we're clean. I wish I had the hood. I'm gonna put it on the way it is for now, because if I put the hood on and I drop it, that actually will be fine. I can go over, because then we'll clear the fender. And that's really the only concern I got. I got plenty of room here, and I got, you know, when I tighten it, it'll kind of sit right around here. And then we won't have to worry about the fuel line rod with the timing cover. PCV hose will come up just like this, and bam, hook in. And then, like I said, this one will sit above the above the gauge a little bit. And if I drop the regulator some, it'll clear that fender. So that'll take care of that. So I think we'll be okay, actually. I'm gonna tighten this gauge up though, and we're just gonna keep going. Some on-the-fly planning, as it would be. Now you don't want to get super tight with this thing, because you can obviously break the gauge, but you also don't want it loose, so it'll vibrate itself out, cause a leak. Wouldn't be good. Never be good. Take a little bit more. Is that pretty square? Yeah. All right. Cool. Got to make sure Magna fuel is perpendicular to the rest of that regulator. So that's on. Clean that guy up. But yeah. All right. So that part's done. Let's go to the back here. I should turn some music on. It's too quiet out here. Let me see. Start with some Freddie Gibbs. Why not? Copyright music. I'll turn it down enough so I can hear it, but then I can overlay some other music on it so I don't get attacked by the YouTube people. Usually it's a can of Coke, but getting a lot of acid reflux lately, so we're trying to drink Pepsi instead of Coke. I'm actually trying to get myself to stop drinking pop, but it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Stop drinking pop. That's not easy. Okay. So the sender circuits are still intact though. I thought for some reason they cut one of them and had it tied over, but that was just because it was this blue wire. And I get used to the blue wires being the sender wire. But yeah, the outside the tank, it looks like it's blue and then black and green. And then we got this one is our trigger wire and ground. So we got those two circuits for the relay. That'll make it easy. I'll just terminate those. We'll get that set up. And then I'll have to ground this wire to the car, and this wire will be the power coming out of the relay. Power going. So power out, power in, control. There's our 4 pins. And then ground to the pump, and we're ready to rock. Get this all set up here. Gotta go grab a power tool. Be right back. Well, fuel pump relay is in and wired, and we got rid of that extra connector. I do have the fuel pump ground going to where that relay screw is. I'm trying to avoid putting a bunch of holes in the car if I can get away with it. What I'm thinking I might do is I might use that noise ground, which is this connector right here that plugs into the factory fuel pressure regulator, that little spade guy right here that I zip tied off. I might use that to ground the pump if this presents itself to be an issue, but we pretty well got it licked up. So like I said, we got our power coming in, power going out, we got our control circuits, we got our ground for the pump. So I gotta put the fuse in up at the alternator, and that'll wrap this project up for the day. Well, turns out I don't have a terminal. The ones that I have are for big gauge wire. I don't want to use this on a small wire because it's gonna look like shit. Yeah, look at size difference of that. I don't want to do that. So I gotta get 12-14 gauge wire terminal, or ring terminal, that's got, I believe, a 3/8 hole. Is that what this is? Kind of looks like it. Yeah, 3/8 hole. All right. So yeah, 12 gauge 3/8 hole will be good to go. So that'll take care of, that'll let me finish up everything that I got to do with this car until that turbo and wastegate gets here. So we get all that stuff done. Let's talk about a couple achievements in the Neon community, well, in the SRT4 community as a whole. Waiting on Matt to get back to the track. I think he's working on, he's changing a couple things on the caliber. TJ's car is currently apart right now. Found out he had a head gasket issue. So I mean, that's not really achievements, just kind of some news, I suppose. So those guys are kind of hanging out and I guess waiting for cars to be done and to get back to the track. And once they get back to the track, I'll definitely update you guys on what they got going on. Now, TJ does have his own channel, Rusty Nuts. Talked about him before. Definitely check it out if you guys haven't already. It's a really cool channel. It's got some good information. Working on his caliber project, Gooch. It's a pretty bad son of a bitch. Came off the dyno, made 650. Went to the track first time after making that power, and he went a 1082 or something like that, I think it was. So really cool. See another car or another caliber in the 10s. I think he's like one of four now. Matt, Jeremy, TJ, and Aaron, I think, are the only ones that have been 10s. So, and this goes from 1092 all the way down to 1052, 1053, somewhere in there, mid 10. But yeah, so just wait on those guys to get back to the, get the cars together, tracks to open, guys to get back out, and we'll start talking about their racing achievements more. But right now, I think everybody's just kind of in build mode, updates, a couple changes in the off season, then everybody will be back out. So I think as far as the caliber side goes, that's just about it. Eon side of everything now. Chris won a 1009. Let me look. I can't remember. He won a 10-0. I know that. I can't remember the change for some reason. Let me go to my list here. I do have a, I do run the fastest of the year page, and everything is on there. There's a fastest Neon page overall, which is a top 50. The fastest of the year, I just keep throwing numbers at it, and now that's just everybody. That's not just Neons. If you got an Omni or an old Shelby Charger or Rampage or an SRT4 powered vehicle or a swap, we put you on the list, and we see, and I do that just so we can see across all platforms where everybody sits. So we got all motor first gen cars, we got swapped 2-door and 4-door first gen cars, we got PT Cruisers, we got Calibers, we got Neons. I don't think anybody else has really posted an exhibition car like the SRT4 swap Mustang. I don't really know who that is or if the car's even still around, but I do run that list, and I know I'm getting distracted here, but I was going there and figured I'd let you guys know for anybody that's not on that list that does watch the channel and is interested in seeing that. Now there's a couple questions, so answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, I'm not even going to bother adding you. So just one thing to keep aware. Fastest of the year. Let's go to the list. So yeah, Andre, it was a 9915 at 147. So awesome for him for bumping in. Chris won a 10019. I knew there was a 9. I just didn't realize it was a 10019. So that car is super close to going some 9s. Hopefully we'll see it go this year. He's got a couple things he wants to change in the off season, and then he'll get back out in the spring and we'll see a 9 out of the Red Rocket. Like I said, Tony Pina, or Pina, I guess I could, if I said your name wrong, buddy, just go ahead and shoot me a message, call me an asshole, tell me how to pronounce it right. But I want to say it's Tony Pina. and he's got a neon, and I want to say it's a 257 turbo. Mario's been tuning with him. They've been trying to figure a bunch of stuff out with the car. He's learning the car, getting to the track, trying to get it figured out. He did go his first 11. I think his first outing he went 12s. Now I guess I shouldn't say his first 11. The car just went an 11 on the setup. So I mean, ideally that car should be like a 1050, 1090 car by the time it's all said and done. But I mean, he's figuring it out. He's out there to track. He's making passes. He's working on it. Congratulations, man. If that is your first 11, hey, good for you. But come down to those 10s and we'll talk. You got it. I know the car's got it, man. You just gotta get it figured out. Get that 1-2 shift down, get the rest of the pass, get a good 60 foot, and you're in the money. I think the car went 124, so I mean, ideally, even at 124, he should be going 11 teens, if not 11 O's. Should be in the 10s by the time it's all said and done, but trapping 124, that's like I said, that's an 11-0 to an 1120 car. So he'll get that deal figured out, and that car will be back. And then we got Oscar. I want to say he's in Mexico. I don't think it's New Mexico. I don't think he's in the States. I think he's actually in Mexico. His slip was in kilometers per hour, but he just won an 11:05 at, what was the change? It was 205 kilometers, so it was 128 miles an hour. So it's pretty quick. That car is definitely going to go some 10s here before too long as well. So, but like I said, guys, I mean, the last time I talked about an update in the community, it was just crazy to see the top 50 overall car like bump spot. I think is like a 10.56 or 5.3 or something crazy like that. Now that's just the SRT4 neon. That's not anything else. So that's insane. It won't be long and they're going to be like 1030s and under. I want to say there's like 15 cars that been 9s. So it won't be long and maybe we'll see 20 of those guys in the 9s. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. Like I said, I don't have the right terminal, so I'll have to get the right terminal for the fuel pump rewire. I got the fuse and everything cut. I was getting ready to button it up. Terminal I have that fits the wire correctly is too small for the charging stud, and by the time I drill it out to make the terminal fit, it's going to be pretty small and it's not going to have a whole lot of material around the outside. I don't want it to get warm and break off or something, so I'm just going to get the right sized terminal. We'll put that guy on. We'll get this stuff buttoned up, and that'll pretty much be it. So, got to look into hardware for some color rivets for that car, or for the rear diffuser. Get that terminal, and then as soon as the turbo shows up, we can really make some progress here. So, we're going to get that wastegate either ordered tonight, or we'll do that in the morning, and then that'll be it. I'm going to go to town tomorrow. I do have some errands to run, and we got some things we're going to be doing in Bay City. I'll go ahead and pick up the terminal, so I can at least get myself to a spot where we are 100% waiting on the turbo. Everything else is done. So I'll get the valve cover off when the turbo does show up. I'll shove the downpipe in. We'll stuff everything else on. We'll get the turbo bolted on and then hook everything up around it. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Definitely appreciate it. Comment with any questions you guys might have or any advice. Maybe something you've seen in one of my videos, but hey, that guy's a dumbass. Maybe you can tell me what I'm doing wrong. I always love to learn. If you got some advice for me, I'm always willing to learn. Anything I can learn, always. If it makes me better, it makes me better. Even if you have advice and I find a different way to make it work, or take your advice along with my advice to make something better, I'm always down. I'm always down to learn. I'm not 100% perfect. We are learning every day. If somebody tells you they're not learning every day and they work on cars, then they either don't give a shit or they're lying. So anyway, that being said, subscribe to the channel, guys. If you haven't already, check out our Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to wrap this one up for the day. You guys have yourself a good one. Stay safe. Hopefully you enjoyed the new intro, by the way. I don't know if anybody noticed. But anyway, you have yourself a good one. Thanks.